Hello everyone, welcome back to another Destiny 2 video, and today we're going over some of the Crucible changes that are going to be coming to Destiny 2 in the near future. I'm going to try to keep this short because, man, there is a lot to unpack in this TWAB. If you guys want me to talk about everything else, there's stuff about community event, the ruffians and whatnot being changed for the Scallywag Triumph. I feel like most of this just talks for itself, but we're going to start with the Crucible. The Crucible T. So these are the main bullet points here. They're going to, define some Crucible ecosystem goals, structure for Crucible and whatnot, and well, let's get right into what and how they're doing this. So this is what they want to turn these modes into. Casual Crucible is like having a pickup game at the gym. Iron Banner is like an exhibition play at a block party. Trials is like high stakes pro-am tourneys. Ranked play is local recreational leagues. And private matches are game nights. Starting in Season 19, the Crucible screen will have the following options. You have 6v6, but that'll be both Clash and Control to kind of streamline everything, which, makes sense. Quick play will use loose skill-based matchmaking, which they tuned in Season 18. And then the weekly rotator 6v6 will rotate between Momentum Control, Mayhem, Team Scorched, Rift, and Rumble. Mostly game modes nobody really cares about, to be honest, and we'll get to that later in the TWAB. So that will be connection-based purely. Competitive Division Freelance 3v3. This playlist will have Survival, Rift, and Showdown. Modes will showcase a variety of playlist styles designed to show how good you really are, and will use a new skill-based matchmaking setting built using concepts we developed for loose skill-based matchmaking tuning, but tightened to match you more closely against opponents of your skill. So we'll see how that matchmaking works out. It sounds pretty good. Also, you can test out 3v3 Rift right now in Crucible Labs to see how that works. That's what they're doing with Labs right now. Speaking of Crucible Labs, during Season 19, Labs is showcasing 3v3 Rift. Oh, I don't know who said that. With asymmetric maps. Labs has a stacking plus 25 reputation booster. Crucible Labs also uses connection-based matchmaking and private match. This is, it's just a place to train, host tournaments, whatever. And here's this. So Trials of Osiris. When Trials is active, it replaces Crucible Labs. Trials uses ticket-based matchmaking and the flawless pool. That we have some news on that below too. We'll get to that news, and it's very exciting news. When Iron Banner is active, it replaces the quick play node. Iron Banner is going to be moving to loose skill-based matchmaking during Season 19. So this is how it'll look during an Iron Banner week, with Rumble as the weekly rotator mode. So no quick play, as you can see. It's just Crucible Labs competitive Iron Banner, or if you want to go down here, Rumble, and of course the private match. And what I was talking about before, you have these here, right? Average population, playtime per player, and Iron Banner is obviously the most because it's around for such a short time, right? Trials is every week except Iron Banner week. Iron Banner is, twice or thrice a season, so that's why it's so highly played. Control, just because it's always there, and it's probably the most non-competitive form of Destiny, next to like Mayhem. Trials, because people like the loot. Everything else down here is kind of superfluous. Except for maybe like Survival, because it's more of a competitive mode. So key takeaway, to no surprise, the champions of both number of daily/weekly players and or playtime per player are Iron Banner, Control, and Trials. Glory, Survival gets a decent population and strong time per player. Rotators are a mixed bag. Momentum, Control, and Mayhem get lots of players. The weeks they are active don't come close to getting as much playtime as other offerings. That's just because they're silly game modes. Clash and Scorch do better or worse depending on the seasonal and weekly offerings. That makes sense. If you don't have seasonal challenges or weekly challenges or whatever to do, you're just not going to play those modes probably because they're kind of stale. Finally, we get to the always-on options: elimination, rumble, and private matches. You would think since private match offers no extrinsic rewards, jobs, bounties, etc., it would have the fewest players and the least playtime, but you would be wrong. Very wrong. Yeah, private match. Here we are. So I think that just goes to show you how much people like an escape from how Bungie creates these game modes, right? And they want to just make their own little tournament, and that's what private matches are there for. Crucible rewards. Starting in Season 19, players will have new triumphs and a new title to chase. When creating this new title, we had many goals centered around ways for players to express their Crucible prowess, slaying enemies, capturing objectives, and even climbing through some of the divisions of our new competitive division, which we speak to in depth towards the end of our Crucible write-up. So you can see some of these triumphs here. Earn Crucible ranks across all seasons, reset your Crucible rank across all seasons, complete matches of different game types. You kind of get the gist here. This is just like a Crucible seal that is a little bit more in depth and incorporates the new system. It's the new Unbroken. When it comes to guilding, we've taken a pass on the requirements for Unbroken to relieve stress. When streaks and reaching specific glory thresholds over multiple seasons are no longer required, we will be challenging you to win a number of matches during a given season and reach the Adept division, more on that below, for guilding. But all of this can be accomplished with a single season. If you see someone with a Gilded Glorious, you know they are the best of the best. So this is nice to update Crucible like this, give it a new title, because Unbroken is obsolete. Large Shack's focusing engram. Starting in Season 19, Lord Shacks will offer the ability for players to focus Crucible weapons and armor. Crucible will be the fourth of the core rituals after Trials of Osiris, Gambit, and Iron Banner. To get comprehensive engram focusing, helping players target specific pieces of gear they've been hunting. It will be a virtual currency and live exclusively on the rank progress bar on Lord Shacks. Crucible engrams may be opened individually by players directly on Shacks. So I think it shows down here, yes. So you don't have to click this up here to collect the engram. You can just click one of these weapons and boom, you get one of them randomly rolled. I don't know if they're going to add some of these to the crafting relic. We'll see. But my guess is you have to just get random rolls from Shacks as opposed to getting drops. Crucible gear focusing. You can now focus the Crucible engram directly into either Crucible armor or weapons. Crucible gear focusing cost will be 1 Crucible engram, 10,000 glimmer, and 50 legendary shards, which is not that bad. So you do not need to claim in order to be spent on focusing. Individual pieces of gear must have been acquired at least once prior to being available for focusing. Crucible armor set available for Season 19 Clutch X-Stall set. Don't really care about that. These are all the weapons, as you can see down here. Stars and Shadow, Keening, Frozen Orbit, Survivor's Epitaph, Sorrow's Verse, Crisis Inverted, Riptide, and Out of Bounds. All listed here. Brand new Crucible weapons are only available as drops during their introductory season and are then available for focusing the following season. Other Shacks changes: the Kill Tracker Ghost Shell will no longer appear at Lord Shacks if it has already been acquired, and that is of course this Ghost Shell right here that has been here for a century. So thank God for that little change. I think here it just mentions the main burden from legendary shards and limber to multiple engrams. The current costs are similar to Gambit's, expecting a larger focusing rebalancing pass with Lightfall, as well as of the ritual vendors converted over into this new system. A wallet item showing you all of the various engram counts will be available in Season 20. Additionally, we'll be looking at ways for players to earn older Crucible armor sets through focusing in Season 21 Nightfall releases. Previously announced Legacy focusing for Trials, Nightfall, and Iron Banner, and this applies to armor sets as well. If you've been asking for the return of the Exile armor set, or eyeballing some older Iron Banner pieces, we look forward to having those available once more. Stay tuned for more details. So that's just a little tease for people who want transmog for older armor pieces that haven't been added to the system yet. This talks about a new Iron Banner playlist. Fortress, the core gameplay is capturing and holding zones. That sounds like zone control too. You'd be right. The real fun begins when Kaido gets involved, but we'll leave some of this for you to experience firsthand when Iron Banner Fortresses launches on January 3rd, 2023. Let's just say a few of you may be dying to cap a hill. So it sounds like a King of the Hill. Could be wrong. Iron Banner rewards, blah 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 blah, some fluff. Auto rifles or slug shotguns are your thing. Saladin has something special for you, updated with random rolls, fresh perks from the last few seasons, and the Iron Banner origin trait. We're looking forward to seeing what rolls you chase. So it's nice that, we're getting some older weapons here that have been in the game for a while to refocus, right? With Lord Shaxx. We're getting a lot of new loot from Iron Banner. There are some new matchmaking techniques that are getting put in, and I believe this mostly talks about fireteam based matchmaking, which essentially just means that your fireteam's makeup should match your opponents. If you're joining a matchmaking queue as a full team of 6, you should generally match against another full fire team. Depending on how long you wait in matchmaking, it might start a match against fire teams of 5 plus a solo. If you wait longer, you might start against a fire team of 4 plus a duo. Fire team based matchmaking can be loose or strict as we want. For quick play we will be fairly generous, allowing slightly mismatched fire teams if skill is similar and connections are fast, which is as it should be, right? It's quick play, crying out loud, so it shouldn't really matter. Once we have time to test these matchmaking settings, we're planning to roll them out to more playlists, Iron Banner, Trials, and more. This next season starts just before our holiday period. We'll be taking a bit of time to make sure things are solid. Expect more news and updates in January. So this kind of just sounds like they're taking a more stricter approach to how some fire teams work. Obviously, right, for quick play, they're going to be a bit more loose, as they said. Loose as a goose, ayo. And this is good, because this is how matchmaking should be. Talk a little bit about quitter suspensions here, but I'm not a quitter, so I don't need to talk about this. I mean, if you have a bad connection too, I guess you should. But they're just lowering the suspension time handed out for serial quitting, because they know sometimes it's not your fault, and plus it's quick play, for crying out loud. Let's be a little understanding. So for Trials, they're adding a machine gun and a 140 hand cannon. I think they show the hand cannon. Oh no, they don't. There's a hand cannon that they do show down here. For maps, these are the ones they added this year, right? Eternity, Vostok, Cathedral of Dusk, and of course Disjunction. And they'll be adding 2 more maps from earlier in Destiny 2, and it started production on a brand new map as well. So there's that. Competitive division. The goals for this are all players can find a variety of balanced matches and feel competitive. A player's PvP division is a core part of their Guardian identity. We'll see if that's true. Maintain places in the ecosystem to not engage in ranked play but still have a decently balanced matches, or to not engage in skill-based matchmaking at all. So Glory, gone. Just like your mama. Just kidding. I hope your mom's still there. 3v3 ranked players will replace it. Competitive division, ladder-based system. So these are the ranks. You have Copper, Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum, Adept, Descendant. I would guess this is just like not ranked Copper, Bronze, Silver, Gold, Plat, Adept, Ascendant. So there you have it. Just to talk about how this is adjusted, right? Match outcome, whether you win or lose is in there. Inflation/deflation, how far above or below your division is compared to your skill, and how well you performed on a match-to-match basis. Player to lobby skill delta, how you compare to everyone else in the match. So there's a lot that goes into this, right? If you gain enough rating to move up between subdivisions, you automatically enter the next subdivision. And if you gain enough rating to move up a division, from Gold 1 to Platinum 3, for example, you enter a promotion series where you must win 2 out of 3 games to be promoted for the next division. And the opposite, if you're about to derank, you enter a regulation series where you must win 2 out of 3 games to remain in your current division. So it's a little bit forgiving there, but you do need to win in order to climb or stay in the current rank you're in. Upon reaching Gold or higher, your division rating is subject to decay on a weekly basis. You will lose division rating if you haven't played enough matches recently, so you have to play. Simple. Also, you will get more loot here, as you can see. Your current division gives you a multiplier on all Crucible ranks, reputation earned in Destiny, letting you earn more Crucible engrams, resets, and extra perks on weapons much faster. So even if you aren't great at PvP, jumping into competitive division / earning and keeping your rank up will help you earn Crucible rewards 10 to 20% faster than now. So this is just a nice little way of incentivizing ranked, which is a good thing. Although we'll see if it's balanced enough to even entice enough people to go and play it. I mean, I would hope so. Certainly, it'll try. And finally, they're bringing back Rose. Rose was originally a legendary hand cannon earned during the Lumina exotic quest. It has a long history in Destiny in which it was corrupted then redeemed. It now returns with random rolls and an updated perk pool. This is the division, or what is it called? I have to go back. I already forgot. Competitive division hand cannon. So it acts like a 140, but it's also like a 150. Has stats to blend the two. This could be very nasty. It's designed for 3v3 play. Random rolled grips instead of origin trait. You earn it through an intro quest for competitive division. Get a drop perk selection that Rose originally had. After the intro quest, you have a character-based weekly competitive division challenge to earn another roll, so you can just farm it. And that's it. Play comp division, earn 1 roll per week per character. So we aren't done here. In seasons post Lightfall, we are expecting to get further cosmetic rewards for competitive division. We are still working out the details of what you can earn, when you can start earning them, and how you earn them. Expect more discussions after Lightfall launches. So this is a really good start, if you ask me, right? You're updating all of the core things Crucible, just regular playlists like Clash, whatnot, condensing them into smaller playlists, giving Iron Banner some love, some new weapons, some old weapons, a new game mode, old armor, which this is from the Taken King, that you'll be able to get at some point. New matchmaking techniques to keep the game hopefully balanced, right? New trials guns, new maps, a new ranked system, which is actually sounds pretty good, right? Incentivizes team play, winning, and whatnot, which I feel like every ranked system does, and actually incentivizes community by offering loot. Even if you're just in the lowest rank, you get like a 1 times multiplier to get loot, which is pretty good, and a farmable gun, so you might just get people trying to farm this hand cannon, although it's really sounds like it's going to be good in 3v3. We'll see though, it might have some good PvE rolls, but that's it. That's really it. Let me know if you guys think these changes will do anything. Will it make Crucible better? I think it will. There's a lot to unpack in here, and the fact that this is just potentially the beginning of trying to reach these goals, right? It's exciting. It's exciting, and maybe Crucible will return to a formidable place to go and spend your time with friends and whatnot. Anyways, if you guys could save this for the end, because I don't like doing it in the beginning, but if you could subscribe. A lot of people who have been watching my videos are not subscribed. I stream also on Twitch, most weeknights and weekend nights, Destiny, Apex, etc. Overwatch, might be doing some Pokemon this weekend. While we're waiting for some more Destiny content, I will be playing a lot of the